we are now moving to an interesting little session because we've heard from some of the providers, we heard from a travel agent, we heard from different providers, but we are here at the LCC conference. So maybe we should hear from some LCC people. And we have two of the best joining us here now that will tell us what they are doing and how they can help the agents move forward. So let me very quickly introduce you to Verena Funke, who is the head of German corporate department at LCC headquarters. She has been in the business over 25 years, from travel and mobility with Agencia, Sixt Rent-A-Car, and Yumday. Yumday, I don't know Yumday. You can tell me about that later. It sounds yummy. And she is an expert in strategic account management, digital transformation, and international business development. And then let me introduce Siiri Palisaar, but I don't know why I'm introducing her, because if you don't know her by now, you have not lived. But Siiri has been around for nearly as long as I have been. Certainly, I've known her for about 25 years within LCC. She is the Senior Director Sales Steering. Do they change your titles ever so often? There's another title. But she's been part of the LCCI management team for the last decade. She has been involved in every aspect of developing the LCCI to the strength that it has today, and leads today the procurement, the franchise communication, and marketing events, and has held all the sorts of roles. So she knows the organization, she knows the agency inside out, and she also leads the International Advisory Board. So welcome to the stage, Verena and Siiri.
Thank you so much for that.
Welcome. And this answers the last question that you've all had for this conference is, what the heck is this table doing here at the whole conference?
They thought we looked so much better behind the table, huh?
Yes, and it's always interesting to see our legs.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for ladies, then high heels even make sense when you stay next to such a table.
You know, you're
right?
ruining the carpet, yeah? The carpet can't take high heels.
Oh, true.
No, it's good, it's good, it's good. That's the only reason I wasn't wearing them today. Anyway, so guys, you've heard a lot.
We did.
And you've learned a lot, and then some things you probably agreed with and some things you didn't agree with, but you know, you have your own strategies, and you're helping LCC grow into AI, and you're helping the agencies grow into AI. Is this something you look forward to doing, Verena?
Of course I do. Because I think, and this is what we heard as well today and even yesterday in the AI session, I think it's a powerful tool, and if you use it correctly, I think it could be a game changer. Nevertheless, I think there's a lot of learning we have to do because, and this is as well what we heard, the system itself, the tool itself, it's stupid. You need to invest time to make it smart, right? So, and I think this is actually where we all need to invest in, and I think it's pretty important to understand where you really want to invest the time in, what do you want to optimize, what do you want to make more efficient at the end. And we saw just this morning on this bubble, when AI came through, everyone was kind of, oh, I have this vision to change the world, but then it turned out, let's start potentially small.
Okay. Now, Siiri, you have 100 and... How many
9 markets,
109 markets,
mm-hmm.
And they all operate exactly the same. No, they don't.
Of course.
So where do you start in trying to help all these agencies get into AI and helping their clients operate?
Yeah, I don't think it's so much just about us helping you as the agency, but rather looking into 109, actually with Germany, 110 markets, and understanding what the individual players like the LCR, for example, but also larger agencies we have like Gan Travel in the US who are really driving developments themselves to see what the use cases they are tackling and the developments they are either taking themselves or teaming up with suppliers and seeing what can be done in order to first of all, get more efficient in your daily processes. I think it does is important to really start on the internal side. And for us, it's very, very exciting, of course, to see throughout the world and to see what is actually developing. We have on Friday had a session with our 60 business travel members, and we had a session on AI. I wasn't so sure what would come out of that when we asked the question of where are you using AI today already, and what processes are you tackling. And it was actually very, very exciting to see that there were a lot of use cases already defined. And this morning in the audience, we heard that 48% of you here in the audience are already using AI. So our job, I think, at headquarters is to really facilitate the information and making sure that we jointly understand, because we honestly don't understand it any better than you guys do, but to have a conversation with you, hearing what the cases are, hearing what solutions are, and really bringing them to you, as good as we can.
I mean, you hit something very important. It's not you telling everybody else what to do.
No, for sure not.
Because they each are developing their own strategy, but I guess you can be the conduit for helping bring what they're doing in Armenia to Brazil and in Argentina to Australia, so that so that they can benefit from being in this network, which is why we're here after all, to network. I mean, are you going to sort of create areas on your intranet, or areas that they can communicate to each other what the best practices are?
Yeah, so I think we have a fairly good infrastructure in communicating to you. We have, of course, our classic intranet, extranet, My LCC, where there's actually a chatbot sitting on top of it. It's the LCC Genie that we have introduced last year already in order to find content on our main library, My LCC. And then, so that is the basic information that's out there, where we publish everything we have to say, or an agency has to say, for everyone's benefit. But then, of course, there are formats like personal interaction, like here on the GA, or virtual forums where we bring out the latest information that we have on these cases. So I think in terms of the infrastructure of how we communicate, we are set up quite well. And it is really to find an information pool, a best practice pool, to publish these to you, but then also to drill down a little bit into it. Here and on the GA, in such a big session, it is sometimes difficult to get more to the operational level, right? We're talking very broadly here. We're talking about huge trends, developments, but now it is, of course, on us to see and take that to the level that is more operational. And that's why we have introduced, or why we always have working sessions here, the skills sessions. There is one this afternoon, 16:45, which is kind of a late session, but they will be again showcased the AI venture that GAN Travel is taking, and other examples. I think, Verena, you're also showing what Apera is doing there. So we are trying to really get it from the big level of showing best practices to get it more operational, and we will, of course, continue to do that going further, because we're really just at the start of the development.
Okay, and Verena, you work mainly with the German market. And you work mainly in the corporate sector.
Yes.
So are you seeing big changes amongst the German agencies with the attitude towards the German market? And how is LCC positioned to combat, because there are competitors, we can't ignore that. Where do you see LCC falling there, and how can you keep pace with what's happening?
Yeah, and I think it's a good question, and you clearly need to understand what is happening on the market. But on the other hand, I think you should not focus too much on them by forgetting to move yourself, right? So, and I think this is the great thing what we did now. I mean, we just started a test phase with a tool called Apera, and where we can even get 12 LCC agencies really testing this application, that we are really getting into the swing of using AI in our LCC infrastructure for business travel for the moment. And
what does Apera do?
So Apera is actually, it can help with simple cases, like an agent wants to understand, is John allowed to travel in first class on a train? Yes, no. Very quickly, without searching through, I don't know how many document databases. Or it could be even helping the account management or salespeople to prepare business reviews. So having clearly a quarterly business review with your customer, maybe it took you like an hour, 2 hours before to actually prepare the analytics, the presentation. With Apera, it even works within 10 minutes.
I assume also it helps spreading the cost burden a bit, that not each agency has to invest themselves in checking out the systems, that you can do that from a central. Is that something you're doing from central headquarters?
And I think this is a good point, because and we just took the point in terms of what is our work here in this journey. And I think there's actually two factors. One is really scanning the market for the systems which are out there. So because there might be even different AI tools we are using moving forward, because there might be more or better tools for voice instead of for email. So I think this is one part. But on the other hand, I think it's our job to really understand which use cases are working very well and ideally get them into the tool pre-configured, so that even smaller travel agencies who have not the manpower really to test and trial and find out how the system is working can actually start from a pre-configured system.
Okay.
And maybe allow me to add here, of course, the way Germany is going, LCR is going here, is they have teamed up with TATS, which has been a long-standing provider. It's a subsidiary of Lufthansa, so that's a good coincidence there. So working with a strong provider, providing a pair, which is actually very good. So we also have jointly a very big IT portfolio, and our job is beyond looking just at the use cases and what agencies are doing, naturally also to turn to our suppliers, many of which we had here on the stage this morning, Amadeus, and of course also TripStacks, and we need to make sure that they are utilizing AI to the best of their abilities to make their products that we are already using even stronger. And of course seeing not to just make the existing products stronger, but maybe even getting new products on the market. So this is, I think, a good part of our job, pushing our suppliers a little bit, making the right decision here and moving into more efficiency.
So we don't have much time. I mean, if there was one sort of simple thing you would say, go home from here. We keep talking about I act, and I act means yes, we need action. So if there's one thing that you would say to the agencies, you know what, the first thing you should do, go back to your offices and what?
Well, and definitely talk about AI. If you haven't done so, 48% probably have. The rest who may not, start the conversation. Maybe also reach out to your team to see and get a feeling for how do they feel about it. I'm sure in any team you will find people who are totally enthusiastic about it. We certainly have a lot of drivers in our team who, push Heiko and myself to get faster and to see what's out there in AI. So I think it is, to reach out to the team. The internal processes, first of all, need to be in focus. You cannot do anything client-facing before you do know a little more about AI yourself and in your own operation, and before the team feels comfortable. So I think it is really to start a conversation if you haven't done it. Then again, there are some who are already front runners and using the technologies and the tools that are out there. ChatGPT, of course, is a very classic one. So if you haven't done anything, then start with ChatGPT maybe and play around.
Do you have a very quick piece of advice to?
Of course I have.
I thought you would.
Dream big, but start small and get started.
Very good. I think you will agree with me that you're in safe hands. Thank you. Thank you, Siiri. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
So